You live. My man live on a Saturday morning Eastern Standard Time. It's 10:05 a.m. All the way in Baltimore.
Yeah, I've been here since about 8 o'clock this morning, 9 o'clock, somewhere in there. Just working, man.
Yeah,
you know,
I
just
see.
like you,
Right.
celebrity working. That's what we do. We got to do it every day almost. We try to take Sundays off, but sometimes we can't even do that.
Right on. So that way you work on a Saturday, so your Mondays be easier, or how that works?
Shoot, it's always work to do. So I don't know if it makes it easier, but I just get some things out of the way.
Right.
But yeah.
You know, Esquire.
Yeah.
So why do people say Esquire? What that mean? Because we
You
don't know.
It's just some term that was given back in the old English days to people who studied the law. It don't really mean nothing.
Yes, it do, because some people say attorneys and some people say Esquire.
They do that to be polite.
So Esquire is greater than attorney, or is it the
No,
same?
it's the same. It's like a term of I'm not going to say a term of endearment, but for lack of a better word, it's a term of endearment.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So now, J. Wyndal attorney. I said J. Wyndal attorney. So you know, you're the greatest, man. I appreciate you. And people want to know the updates. What's been going on with the Korean game, and some more stuff you're doing.
Well, in terms of Korean Gaines, we're still struggling to get Royce Ruby prosecuted. I want him prosecuted federally, and we haven't been able to get the traction that I'm looking for, but we're going to increase the pressure on that. We also want the Korean Gaines, that is Cody Gaines portion of the case settled. So we've been trying to work with city officials, elected officials, county officials, activist community, civil rights organizations to have a conversation with Johnny O, who's the county executive, to see if there's some way we can reach some middle ground to resolve all those matters. Because not only do you have Corinne Gaines, but you also have the Mellison case, where the 67-year-old woman was hip tossed to the ground, slammed to the ground, 76-year-old woman. So that's much worse. 76-year-old woman was slammed to the ground by a Baltimore County officer. So we have all these matters that are outstanding that requires us to work on Saturdays. And that's why I'm here working on Saturday to get some of these issues resolved so we can kind of move forward and create a more kinder and gentler society.
Wow. So basically now you're moving on to the 76-year-old woman was slammed to the ground by a Baltimore County police officer?
Yeah, we're working on her. We're also working on Michael Marks' case. He's the gentleman who was shot at Frederick Douglass High School. Remember, an attacker, a gunman, entered the school and was trying to get on some students.
I do remember.
He intervened. He ended up arresting the gunman. Well, Baltimore City Public Schools refused to settle the case with him. They're making us litigate. He took 2 bullets for those students and the administration at that school, and they're telling us that, you know, they don't think he's entitled to any money for the injuries he sustained. So I just find that extremely reprehensible. So
give us some highlight on it. So it was a Baltimore City police officer.
Public School.
Worker?
Which one?
In the school, Frederick Douglass?
At Frederick Douglass, no, a gunman entered the school.
Right.
Trying to do harm to some of the students in the school.
Right.
Michael Marks intervened.
Who is Michael Marks?
He is my client. He wrestled the gunman down. Actually took the gun from him.
Is he a worker?
Yeah, he just worked there.
He worked there,
yeah.
Okay.
And he ended up getting shot twice, once in the groin area. And Baltimore City Public Schools don't want to compensate.
They supposed to compensate them.
They don't want to compensate. They're making us
Come
fight.
on, hold up.
Litigate.
Wait a minute.
They're making us litigate. So we have to litigate. There's caps on damages. The caps are $400,000. You can't get any more than $400,000. Don't you think this case is worth at least $400,000?
More than that.
Exactly, more than that.
I like to intervene right now.
Yeah.
Now, it don't take a rocket science to figure this out. If that gentleman, your client, wouldn't wrestle this gunman down,
right,
what would have happened in the result?
School.
Right.
Yeah.
So
he was
you
on
mean
a search and destroy mission? This guy he came in there strapped, loaded, ready to do harm. In fact, he did do harm because he shot Mr. Marks twice. And he shot multiple times. 2 times he was successful.
Come
Mr.
on,
Marks
man.
was able to wrestle the gun away from him.
And who don't want to?
Baltimore City Public Schools, man.
They don't want to compensate this person.
No, I told him we wouldn't accept anything less than the legal cap.
Right.
And so they rather litigate
Oh,
do the
come
right
on.
thing.
See, come on.
Yeah.
See, man, this guy.
Dr. Santelises is in charge. She could put an end to this right now, right today. You know what? She could say, you know what? Pay this man. He risked his life for not only the students, for the administration, for the staff, for the teachers, and everybody. But they don't want to do it. And so I think, we need to put the focus now on Dr. Santelises and Michael Marks and how much he sacrificed just to be here today to save those students, and how Baltimore City is basically, they pooped on them.
Wow.
They pooped
I
on
cannot believe this.
Yeah.
And by us just hearing this from you, people don't know this.
Right.
So, we want this to be out there. We want everybody to share this, because here's the story right here. This is what happened.
Yeah.
And we didn't know they trying to hold us back.
This happened in February 2019, if not 2020.
What can people Google and find out what happened?
Michael Marks, Frederick Douglass High School. That's all you have to put in Google. It'll pop right up. Michael Marks, we went through a lot, and he's still going through it. And for the school system to treat him like this, I don't think it gets any worse.
No.
I mean, the lack of appreciation for the sacrifice that he made. He almost died.
I know.
Or he almost was injured to the point where he can no longer be potent as a man.
This guy is a hero in my eyes.
He's an absolute hero.
Come on, man. Look, he was looking out for the kids, man.
Yeah.
Don't you know when somebody coming into school with a loaded gun,
right,
and you try to save him, he risked his life to save other lives.
And not many people would have done it. And those who were there, who witnessed it, they ran for cover. Not many people would have done it. He wrestled the gun away from that kid. And he ended up, no one lost their life that day. And he was the only one injured.
And you know what?
Not even the gunman was injured.
Now, the security in that school,
that was the problem.
They had their guns locked up.
No, there were no security in the school.
There was no security?
But the problem was they used to have
police
security policies in place to ensure that people who came to visit the school had to go through proper channels. They had to go through a scanner,
right?
Things of that nature. The principal took all those things down.
Wait a minute.
That was an issue there. But in his own opinion, I guess he felt like he didn't want the school to appear like a jail or some reform institution. So he took all those security mechanisms,
metal detectors down and all that
out. And so this happened.
Oh my goodness.
And so it's just negligence. And so why would Baltimore City Public Schools make us fight this hard for that little piece of money, for the unimaginable sacrifice that this man made in order to keep everybody in that building safe?
And it was school in session at that time.
Absolutely.
What time of the day this happened?
Midday.
Midday.
Yeah, midday.
And all them children were walking the halls,
right,
or in the classroom. You never knew what this gunman would do. Now, what happened to the gunman?
He ended up getting locked up, thanks to Michael Marks. He ended up getting locked up, got prosecuted, and he pled guilty. And so, and he's got some other matters that he's dealing with. But yeah, he pled guilty.
He didn't get no time?
No, he got time.
He got time for that?
He got time. But the bottom line is, it's not even so much about him. What he did, we know was wrong.
Right.
But what the school is doing is equally wrong.
Right. It's
wrong.
Triple wrong.
Right.
Come on, man. This guy saved lives. Now, how many bullets was left in the gun?
I don't know how many were left in the gun, but I know that 2 actually entered his body.
Right.
And 6 were fired.
Right. Mm-hmm. So basically, he wrestled him down. He had him down, pinned down. Mm-hmm. This guy, he knew
he was fighting for his life.
Right. He was fighting for his
life.
Yeah.
And he took 2 bullets on behalf of Baltimore City Public Schools, and they don't want to pay him $400,000.
And when he got wrestled down, that's when the police and everybody came and got him.
He yelled multiple times, and the police came and they took him into custody. Yeah, he held him until police came.
Oh my goodness! Come on, J. Wyndal Gordon, man.
Y'all don't know this story?
No.
Oh man, when we finish this interview, we're gonna pull it up on Google.
Come on, Jay.
Yeah, man.
And your client can't get what he deserved.
I mean,
he deserved
more.
more.
Not get what he deserved,
right?
Because there are legal caps on damages. $400,000 is the cap, but they don't even want to give that up, and that's the part that I found reprehensible.
Man, when you ready for this protest?
Hey, y'all want to do a protest?
We got to, man. We ain't know this.
Well, we need to do something.
We got to let the world know what's going on. We got to shine the light on what's happening, man.
This one is shameful.
Come on, we can't let this go lightly.
Yeah, this one is bad.
This one is bad.
This one is bad. Yeah.
And what else going on? Briefly talk
That
to us.
on October 10th, I'm going to be speaker at the Baltimore County NAACP Freedom Fund Awards ceremony. So I was very honored to get that call and invitation to be a speaker. So I'm proud of that. Last week I was able to give some donations to some organizations across the city that do great work. I was blessed to be able to do that, so I was happy about that. And this week, we just working on what we're working on, just staying busy.
Okay. So basically, tell us about more now. Where is this award going to be at again?
I don't know where.
They can contact you?
It's in my phone. I don't know where it's going to be, but it's in my phone.
Right on.
Yeah.
And that's when?
That's October 10th.
October 10th.
Sunday from 2 to 5.
Can people come out and see you getting awarded?
Yeah, they can come out.
They can come out.
They can come out. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
So there you go. That's the warrior lawyer.
That's right.
Did y'all look? I found out today he's a boxer. You didn't tell nobody about your boxing experience.
Man, I don't tell anybody about it because I'm 52 years old. So what I'm doing boxing today, you know what I mean?
Hey, you got to stay in shape.
Well, yeah.
You got to keep it up.
And I would go back and train. I would do that.
Right. So you would go back and train?
I would, yeah. I would do that. I didn't say I'm doing it. I said I would do it.
Right. He would do it. So tell us about what you're going to do as far as, are you accepting any more clients for cases?
Definitely, but good cases, you know what I mean? I'm trying to take cases that make a difference, you know what I mean, that have impact. And unless it's a criminal case, I enjoy criminal. I don't care what I'm doing. I'm going to always be doing criminal defense because that's my passion. That's what I enjoy the most. But the other types of cases, I want impact cases. I want cases that make a difference. One of the situations that we're working on, or cases that we're working on, is this whole marijuana versus hemp thing. And our chemistry labs, the state of Maryland chemistry labs, how they're unable to distinguish the difference between hemp and marijuana, which is a big deal because they arrest people every day for being in possession of marijuana, but they don't know whether or not it's marijuana or hemp. Hemp is a legal substance, marijuana is an illegal substance, but if you don't have the capability to test the difference between the two, then you shouldn't be prosecuting marijuana cases at all. So we're looking at those cases, those who've been prosecuted for marijuana in the past, it's between 2018 and today, and looking to see whether or not their civil rights have been violated because of Brady, or the rule that requires the state to produce evidence that tends to be favorable to the defense. For instance, if they knew that they didn't have the capability to test the difference between hemp and marijuana, they should have been prosecuted for marijuana. And if they had known that before they prosecuted them and they didn't disclose that information to the defense, then that's a violation. That's a discovery rule violation. We call it a Brady violation. And again, any evidence that's favorable to the defense is supposed to be produced without a request. So we don't even have to request it, and this is the law. So there are a lot of prosecutor offices across the state of Maryland who've been violating this law, because I've never received any discovery in any of my marijuana cases where I was advised that they didn't have the capability to test the difference between hemp and marijuana, or that some of their chemists weren't even certified in the state of Maryland to conduct drug analysis in the first place. So this is a big issue. It was brought to my attention by LaToya Francis Williams. Get to know her. She's a very fine attorney.
LaToya Francis Williams.
Yes, she's a very fine attorney, just doing incredible work in the city. She brought it to my attention, and A. Dwight Pettit's office is working on it as well. And they brought it to me, and I just I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna run with it. We're all working together to try to resolve some of these issues and correct some of this injustice that's taking place based upon bogus marijuana prosecutions.
And then bogus marijuana prosecution mean
that they were prosecuting people they were accepting pleas for being in possession of marijuana when they don't know whether or not the green leafy substance they believe was marijuana was actually marijuana. It could have been hemp. So you have to test when you get into prosecuting, taking someone's liberty or fining them, even if it's a citation offense. You need to be sure that you're prosecuting the right substance. So
right.
If you're prosecuting someone for marijuana and all they had was hemp, that's a bad prosecution, especially when you don't have the capabilities to tell the difference between the legal substance hemp and the illegal substance marijuana. So It's a big deal.
Wow.
And the media is playing it down. The state's attorney's offices is playing it down. Even the public defender's office. I'm surprised they didn't jump on it.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess I imagine that it would require them to look at thousands and thousands of cases to determine whether or not this was an issue. And I see that as a major issue.
So basically, if they find that out, they're going to have to let all them people out of jail, man.
They're going to have to, or reverse some of these prosecutions if they can't show that that product or that substance that they have was indeed marijuana. You got to test for it. The only way you can know the difference is to test for it.
Right.
Hemp and marijuana is basically the same plant. It burns the same, it smells the same, it looks the same. There's no way you can tell the difference. The only difference between hemp and marijuana is the intensity or the level of THC, which is the active ingredient. Hemp contains THC of less than 0.3%. So anything above 0.3% THC is marijuana. The bottom line is they don't have the ability to test whether or not, again, this substance is below or above the 3%, which is the difference between marijuana and hemp.
Mm-hmm. So you broke it down to us.
I hope you understood.
We understood.
It's simple. It's simple. So we're just putting things in place, getting our experts in order, and we're going to sue the hell out of the state, city, and some of these prosecutors.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
So now, there you go, folks. That's a good attorney.
It is county, because I must admit that Marilyn Mosby, she stopped prosecuting.
Yeah, she stopped prosecuting.
And that was smart.
Right.
And she was one of the few who did it. And but these
she always one of the few that doing a lot of things around the country.
Right. But Scott Schellenberger, we coming for that office. We coming for that office. No, I'll name it right here. Scott Schellenberger.
That's the
his
county.
Office, his administration is in the crosshairs.
They still locking people up for this stuff?
Yeah, and they're still prosecuting people for it. And they know that they have to outsource their drug analysis to a state outside of Maryland that don't have certified chemists to perform those tests. And the law says the tests have to be performed by someone who's certified by the state of Maryland. Not the state of Pennsylvania, not the state of Texas, but the state of Maryland. So if you have people who happen to be forensic chemists, but they're not certified by the Department of Health of the state of Maryland, their analysis is inadmissible. It doesn't satisfy the law. So wow. It's a big deal, man.
It's a big deal. See that, folks? Y'all getting it uncut here with attorney J. Wyndal Gordon.
That's right.
So tell us some more update skills.
That's really all I have. I'm trying to think what else is going on. Everything else is just what I've been working on. It's nothing new. So that's what I got.
That's what you got.
Mm-hmm.
So how can people really get in touch with you and find out about
Google
what's happening?
Warrior Lawyer. You don't even have to remember my name. Just Google Warrior Lawyer, J. Wyndal Gordon, obviously. GordonAtlaw.com. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, LinkedIn. I'm easy to find.
Y'all hear that, folks?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now, when did you go to trial or court for the young lady was thrown to the ground about the 76-year-old lady?
We're in the beginning stages of that litigation, so that's not going to trial anytime soon. But it's in the system.
It's in the system.
It's been filed, for sure.
So, J. Wyndal Gordon, now, we want to come out and support you as far as the school, because that was...
Yeah, I never even thought about protesting it, but I think, that might not be the worst thing in the world to do, because I think it's reprehensible. It's awful, actually, the way they're treating this man who gave up so much and getting so little respect for it. And people need to know what's going on and give this man at least what the law says he's entitled to.
Y'all hear that? So anything else you want to wrap it up with?
That's it, man. That's a wrap.
That's a wrap?
That's a wrap.
That's a wrap, y'all. So thank you so much, and we'll be hollering at you shortly.
Yep. Thanks.
Peace.